मंगलम भगवान वीरो मंगलम गौतम प्रभु।
ॐ नमो हरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो वचायाणं नमो लोये सर्वसाहूणम्।
Jai Jinendra and welcome to Mangalam. Today we have a very special program for you. As you know, today in the world, everywhere we see violence and war and terrorism going on, and today we all are looking for peace. The peace can be achieved through non-violence, which is the most important principle of Jain religion. Today we have Anubhai Vora, who is going to talk to us about how a global peace can be possible by following the principle of non-violence. This is being presented in two-part series. Today we bring to you the first part. Here is Anubhai Vora.
Good morning and Jai Jitendra. Let me start my presentation with a question mark. Do you ever get sick and tired while reading the newspaper or watching TV and their scary headlines every single day? I don't know about you, but I sure do. I feel that the world has gone nuts, gone berserk, gone totally crazy. It appears that quite a few nations on the face of this earth are mired in violence, anger, hatred, and terror, and hundreds of innocent people are getting killed quite often. In the old days, many people were getting killed in the conventional wars, and it was understandable. But now, those types of wars have been put on a back burner, and the terrorism has taken over. It appears that certain groups of people have found cruel ways to kill innocent people and destroy their homes and public properties. We are indeed living in a dangerous and frightening world. You might wonder, what the heck is going on? Where are we going with this nonsense? Is there any way to fix the chaos? It's indeed quite reasonable for us to expect our political leaders to fix these problems, because we have elected them precisely for resolving the problems of this nature in the first place. But it's a matter of public record that our leaders have failed us miserably over the last 100 years. In spite of their best intentions, in spite of their best efforts, we have had 2 world wars, followed by the wars in Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and ongoing hostilities in Israel, Palestine, and other parts of the world. And now, a big monster called terrorism has raised its ugly head. Do we have to accept this situation as a matter of our destiny, or is there a way out? Well, fortunately, there is help available if we are willing to open up our horizons and explore the spiritual world. And to start the dialogue, let's look at the 3 cardinal principles offered by Jain religion and see if they can help us resolve the conflicts of the modern age and allow us to live in peace and harmony. The very first principle of Jainism is the one involving non-violence, and to study its potency and relevance in these difficult times, let me start with the example of Mahatma Gandhiji. Gandhiji learned about the enormous power of nonviolence and negotiation directly from the Jain teachings. Once he studied the concept in depth and got convinced about its enormous potential, he did not wait for a second. He charged ahead and decided to apply it in freeing India from the unjust rule of the British Empire. And to accomplish this, he used many creative strategies to uproot the government but never promoted violence in any form. In fact, he made sure that the British citizens were not harmed in any way, shape, or fashion throughout the independence struggle. He repeatedly told his followers that the target of his fight was the sin, but not the sinners or the Britishers. This important distinction earned him great respect from the countries all over the world. It took him over 30 years to get the freedom for India, but his persistence paid off in a big way. If he had followed violent approach to achieve his goal, in my opinion, he would not have been as successful, and in all probability, he would have been wiped out early in the game. Based upon his success, he left this important message for humanity, very important message, and that's shown in the next slide. He said, "Nonviolence is the greatest force at the disposal of mankind. It's mightier than the mightiest weapon of destruction ever devised by the ingenuity of man. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind." Inspired by the success of Gandhiji and his nonviolent approach, Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela followed suit and achieved parallel results in their own national struggles. In fact, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at one point expressed similar feelings when he said, "We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish together as fools. The choice is strictly ours." The point I would like to make is that the concept of nonviolence does work, but it requires a fair amount of soul searching, patience, discipline, and courage. But at the end of the day, it is shown to be much more effective than any other violent solution involving killing and death. Interestingly enough, other popular individuals, like famous people, have come forward with the same conclusion. Let me share some of their views with you. This slide shows what Pope John Paul II said. "There is no religious goal which can possibly justify the use of violence by man against man." He further declared, "Violence never again. War never again. Terrorism never again. In the name of God, may every religion bring upon the earth justice, peace, forgiveness, and love." At the same assembly, Konrad Reiser, Secretary General of World Council of Churches, who happened to be present at the same assembly, said, "We commit ourselves to proclaiming our firm conviction that violence and terrorism are incompatible with the authentic spirit of religion." At this point, perhaps you might ask, is nonviolence relevant in this day and age, or is it just an old-fashioned thinking? You might further ask, even if we expect this philosophy, how do we make people nonviolent on a grand scale? How do we change their attitude? The answer is very simple. It is by changing their belief system. Why? Because people behave not according to their knowledge, but according to their belief system. Remember, even the terrorists have their own belief system, whether we like it or not. That's the reason they behave the way they do. So if you want them to stop killing others, we need to work on their belief system. I know it could take a long time to change their deep rooted beliefs, but it's well worth the effort. It is the right thing to do. Just shooting them would not solve the problem on a long-term basis. So how do we change the belief system? Let's study how the Jains have managed to stay peaceful for thousands of years based upon their own unique belief system. Perhaps this may provide us with a new insight. Jains believe in the existence of soul in each living being, which is eternal and divine. They also believe that all souls are spiritually equal, interdependent, and each is capable of achieving the highest spiritual potential. If we understand these basic ideas and apply them with our heart and soul every moment, we are not going to be hurtful to any being, and will always show compassion and respect towards all in thoughts, words, and deeds. This simple but revolutionary mode of thinking can drive a sea change in people's behavior and could serve as a guiding force in day-to-day living. What's the proof? Well, based upon this compassionate thought process, Jains have always lived serenely with balance and harmony for decades. They have never engaged in any conflicts throughout the history of mankind. The next question I would like to address is, where did their belief system originate from? Well, the answer is, it came directly from the teachings of Lord Mahavira, who once said, in happiness and suffering, in joy and grief, we should regard all creatures as we regard as our own self. He uttered these powerful words over 2,600 years ago, but they are still as relevant today as they were back then. The goal of his teachings was the welfare of the whole universe, including human beings. He claimed that all beings contain life and therefore should not be injured and exploited by us humans who are endowed with the powers of understanding and self-restraint. Violence towards our fellow human beings or towards other species is violence to our own self. Violence begets violence, no matter what its form is. With violence, no one wins at the end. However, with non-violence, everybody is a winner. There are no losers. We all know violence is easy and non-violence is difficult, but non-violence seems to be the only correct and sensible answer to our problems. Another important point to remember is that Jainism attacks the root cause of the problem, not just the symptoms. We already identified the belief system as the primary cause. And it has also identified yet another factor we need to be aware of. And it is derived from the toxic emotions of anger, arrogance, deception and greed and sense of revenge. Remember, there is a cause and effect relationship over here. Wrong belief system gives rise to destructive emotions and causes a lot of damage. So how do we control these poisonous emotions? What are some of the specific steps we need to take? We'll discuss these questions and other issues in the next and final session. So please do not forget to watch it. And thank you.
Now we take a small break. We'll go to Global Jain News presented by Rishabh Mehta.
Jai Jinendra and welcome to Global Jain News. I'm Rishabh Mehta. The Jaina Women's Committee was established in late 2015 with the objective of providing a discussion platform for Jain women. The group discusses themes involving marital relationships, social well-being, communal harmonization, and international peace. Already, this group has partnered with the International Women's Suffrage Alliance to reduce domestic violence in America and abroad. The Viryatin Initiative held its third global convention in Rajgir, Bihar in January of 2016. The three-day convention emphasized the central tenets of the organization: Seva, Shiksha, and Sadhana. In the convention, over 30 volunteering activities were held, including a blood drive, school startups, and more. This convention was a great success, promoting Acharya Channaji's message to greater prominence. The Jaina organization created the Nepal Earthquake Relief Fund in October of 2015, and thanks to generous support of Jains worldwide, the community service was able to raise over $100,000 in funds. These funds were distributed to multiple NGOs, including $51,000 for the Viryatin School Project and $25,000 for the Bidara Sarvodaya Trust. Additionally, Jain Youth at Atlanta made over 100 quilts for the survivors of the deadly earthquake. The Jain response to the earthquake was spearheaded by Dr. Nitin Shah and Acharya Channaji. Last Sunday, Jain Society of Central Florida, Orlando took the opportunity to help the homeless people in downtown Orlando by providing them with food, clothes, water bottles, and other hygiene products. Volunteers between the ages of 5 and 75 years made snacks and sandwiches and distributed old clothes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, hand sanitizers, and more to homeless people. Due to generous contributions from Costco and Sam's Club, the center was able to help more than 150 individuals in the area. That's all for today. Until next time, see you again. Jai Jinendra.
As you know, Mangalam show is watched world over. We do receive the emails from time to time from our viewers. Today we have our anchor Dipti Mehta to present to you viewers' mail.
Jai Jinendra. This is Dipti Mehta welcoming you all to viewers' feedback. We have received an email from Mr. Rahul Jain from Portland, Oregon. He writes, "It was my first time watching the show. The drama and story-based narrative is an inspiration for all beings who watch your program. We don't have sadhus or sadhvis near us, and thank you for bringing us the Jain values and the message of Maitri Bhav, which is the essence of Jainism." Rahulji, it was very nice to have a positive response from you. We thank you for watching the Mangalam show. The show is presented by Media Production Committee of China. We would like to feature your song or activities by you or anybody. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. This email is from Smriti Shah, who writes that she liked beautiful paintings of temples on the show. Thank you, Smriti ji, for watching the show and writing to us. We always try to bring variety of programs from many different Jain centers from all over the world. We would be happy to feature any Jain activities or events on the show. Please keep writing to us. Our email ID is mangalamshow@gmail.com. This is all for today. I'll be back with more emails next time. Until then, Jai Jinendra.
Now we bring to you a performance by our youngsters from Jain Center of America Pathshala Kids. So enjoy.
मङ्गलाणं च सौवेसिं पढमं हवै मङ्गलम्।
ओङ्कारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओङ्काराय नमो नमः ओङ्काराय नमो नमः ओङ्काराय नमो नमः ओङ्काराय नमो नमः नमो नमः नमो नमः नमो नमः नमो नमः
प्राणी अपने प्रभु से पूछे किस विधि पातो है प्रभु कहे तू मन को पाले पा जाएगा तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए मन ही देवता मन ही ईश्वर मन से बड़ा न कोई मन ही देवता मन ही ईश्वर मन से बड़ा न कोई मन उजियारा जब जब फैले जग उजियारा हो इस उजले दर्पण पर प्राणी इस उजले दर्पण पर प्राणी भूल न जमने पाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए का था। मन से कोई बात छुपे ना, मन के नैन हजार। जग से चाहे भाग ले कोई, जग से चाहे भाग ले कोई, मन से भाग न पाए। तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए। भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए। तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए, तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए।
I hope you liked today's program. Next time, we bring you the second part of the same lecture, The Global Peace Through Nonviolence. Until then, we would like to know your views about our program. So don't forget to write to us at mangalamshow@gmail.com. Do visit our website mangalamshow.com. Until next time, Jai Jinendra.